Mundakopanishad Dvasuparna Sayuja Sakhaya Samanam Vriksham Parishasvajate Tayor Anya Pippalam Swadavati Anashnan Anya Abhijakashiti. On the same tree there sit these two birds. They are sitting. One of them is not doing anything, it's simply a witness to everything, it watches over everything. But the other bird is busy eating the bitter and sweet fruits that grow on that tree. It hops from branch to branch to taste the fruit in the hope that the next fruit would be sweeter. At times it gets lucky, gets a sweet fruit, becomes happy, and another time it tastes a bitter fruit and gets disappointed. And this goes on and on till the lower bird, the one who is busy with the enjoying of the fruits, looks up and sees the other bird, the higher one. It looks the same as me. It has the same feathers, same shape, size, colors. But what is it that makes it so peaceful? It does not eat the fruits of this tree, but simply remains at peace by just being the witness. And then this lower bird, out of curiosity or out of a new desire to get rid of these bitter and sweet experiences and become established in peace, raises itself branch by branch till it ultimately reaches the upper bird and realizes that there are no two birds at all. It was always one bird only. That bird, when it was busy tasting the fruits, was experiencing the joys and sorrows, happiness and disappointments. But when it decides not to eat the fruits and rather be a witness, the same bird becomes peaceful. It's established in that highest peace. This is the story of Jeeva and Shiva in every human body, which is the tree. They said there reside these two in this human body. One is the Jeeva, and the other is Shiva. Jeeva is the one which goes on experiencing the pleasures and pains of life. It develops desire to taste and experience things of this world. And at times it's happy when things are pleasurable, and then becomes disappointed when things are painful. And this goes on and on and on, year after year, birth after birth, death after death. But someday when such a bird comes in the presence of a higher bird, such a Jiva comes in the presence of somebody who has transcended this Jiva Bhava, it gets inspired. It asks, can I also become like that, which is the one who is so peaceful? And then it starts making efforts to know how to become like that. And when it makes efforts, gives up this doership and enjoyership in the world, it attains that Shiva Bhava. And it becomes one with that Shiva Bhava. Shivaratri is about transcending this Jiva Bhava and establishing oneself in that Shiva Bhava. Shiva means auspiciousness, holiness, goodness. Sham karoti iti Shankara. The one who does good to everyone, the one who is always good, is Shankara. Shiva is auspiciousness because only when we realize that we are beyond the body and the mind, that is when we experience that purity, and that is auspicious. That experience of divinity within is auspicious. And the day that happens, that is an auspicious day. Or the night that happens, that is the auspicious night in our lives. Maha Shivaratri is one such night, where transcending this Jiva Bhava is easier than on the other nights. Because the night itself is in such a way when thousands and thousands of people meditate on this idea of Shiva, the vibrations of this planet, the whole universe rises. And so it becomes even more easier. Children who do bicycle, they have a bicycle, they go about. When there is a slope downwards, it's easier, it's faster to go. Uphill is difficult. Likewise, Shivaratri is one such day and night when the ability to progress on this spiritual path becomes much more easier. The path is easier, therefore you can progress faster. That is why I insist so much on celebration of Shivaratri, and that everybody should keep a vigil and then meditate on this thought of Shiva and transcend this Jeeva Bhava. That is the whole effort. Today, after having finished pujas yesterday and bhajans all night, we all feel purer than before. We need this purity, this auspiciousness to lead our lives in this world. Otherwise, this world keeps throwing us from one extreme to the other, based on the experience of the senses and the mind. And then our emotions swing, and we lose peace, we lose auspiciousness. But this effort made every day, not necessarily just on this day or this night, as I said, it's more conducive for a spiritual aspirant. But any other day or night, you must continuously meditate on this thought that I'm not Jeeva, I'm Shiva. Jeeva is just an apparition, it's an illusion. The truth is that I am only Shiva. Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. This is what you have to keep telling yourself. It may not be easy to get convinced about it in the beginning. It's not easy to get that experience in the beginning. But the more you think about it, mananat trayate, the more you meditate on this idea, I'm not Jeeva, I'm Shiva, I'm Shiva, I'm Shiva, and that will take you to the experience also. And that is the effort that everybody should put. Celebrating it by doing pujas, archanas, aradhanas, that's the external way of doing it. The internal way of doing that Shivopasana is to continuously chant this. Shivoham, 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 Shivoham. And that is what that mantra itself will take care that you get that experience someday or the other. Don't be disappointed. Again, don't become the lower bird in spiritual path. I meditated, I sat all night, I sang bhajans. I did not experience Shiva. The one who sang the bhajans, the one who sat whole night, the one who chanted the mantra is himself Shiva. The ability to even do that is given by him and him alone. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam, tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. As it shines, everything else shines in its light, just as it shines. Without that Shiva, which is the consciousness, you cannot even listen to what I am saying right now. The ability of the senses to even understand and experience the world comes from that consciousness only. And that consciousness is Shiva. So while we pray to Ishvara or Shankara as a form, that is a Saguna or a Sakara Rupa. But the truth of this phenomena is Nirguna, Nirakara Rupa, Prajnana Rupa. And in between, as I said, there is Lingakara, which helps you to transcend one from the other. If I have to climb this stage, I cannot just jump up or down from this platform. I need a few steps to come up. Likewise, between the Saguna Sakara and Nirguna Nirakara, there is this Lingakara. And on Shivaratri, Shiva assumed this Linga form of Linga, Hiranyagarbha form. And that is the beginning, Liyate Gamyate iti Linga. That to which everything goes, into which everything merges is Lingam. And we have studied, we know Hiranyagarbha was the very first primordial creation from which all the universe manifested. So Shiva represents that, and we worship Shiva in this form because we want to remind ourselves of the higher truth. But we go step by step. At Saguna Sakara, he has helped Rudam Dravayati iti Rudraha. He wipes away the tears, wipes away the sorrows of people. That is Rudra. When Ganga had to be brought down onto the earth Nobody could dare do that. It's only Shiva. He said, let me serve the people. Let me remove their sufferings. And he received Ganges, which was flowing in the space, onto the earth. He brought that Ganges through his matted locks. And that's how Ganges flows this way. Or when Samudra Mantana was going on, churning of the ocean of milk, everybody wanted to drink the Amrutam. But nobody wanted to accept the halahala. No God dared to even touch that halahala. At that point of time, it is Shiva who said, I will have it. Nilakanta he became, and he kept that in his throat. And so he's always awake. He's always awake. Jagrati Sanyami, we read. He's always awake. Why? Because he's holding that poison in his throat. If he sleeps off, the poison will go in. So he's always awake in a yoga samadhi at all times. But for the sake of others, to remove the suffering and sorrow, Karunamaya, Shiva has done that as a Saguna Brahma. At the same time as Nirguna Nirakara, he is there to teach us the higher truth that we are all divine and divine alone. We are Shiva alone and nothing else. So either ways it is auspicious. Shiva does he is auspicious, and he does auspicious things to others. Even at the cost of his own suffering, even at the cost of his own difficulties, even at the cost of drinking poison, he is here to save the rest of the world. So in all ways we can derive inspiration from Lord Shiva. And this is a Shiva Kshetra. Here Shiva has been worshipped for thousands of years. Because this Kshetra is Shiva Kshetra. Sages and saints have worshipped, and therefore we are very fortunate to be seated here in this place and worshipping Shiva. But meditate, if you meditate on him as Saguna Sakara, then meditate on his compassion for the world, for every being, at whatever be the cost. If you want to meditate on the Nirguna Nirakara, then meditate on the Prajnana part of Shiva, the consciousness which is Shiva. And if you cannot go from Saguna to Nirakara so quickly, then meditate on the Lingakara, which is the intermediate stage from form to the formless. And therefore, Shivaratri is one of the most auspicious festivals in this country, because many other festivals, be it a harvest festival, there is Sankranti, there is Ugadi, there are so many festivals, but this is one festival which is very spiritual, highly spiritual in nature, where all thoughts focus on that one idea that everyone is Shiva. Everyone is divine. I am divine, so all are divine. That idea we must meditate on, and this idea, this thought should guide us for all times to come. Many people wrote, you don't have to suffer, you should not go through any of these sufferings on a Shivaratri day. Truth is that neither I want to suffer nor I don't want to suffer. Either ways it is okay with me. Because what happens as per the divine will should happen. Neither we choose to stop it nor we decide to make it happen. Whatever happens, happens. But as the time passes, more and more we will move into the higher consciousness of Shiva. And we must meditate on that thought. And Shivaratri should be the night when we meditate on that idea and we experience that oneness. Even if we experience it once, we will never go back to our worldly ways. Because the taste of it is so beautiful, that experience is so mesmerizing, that we will never go back to our old ways. At least we will definitely become better than what we were a night before. So all of you should experience that Shiva Bhava, transcend the Jeeva Bhava, and your presence, your very existence should become auspicious, not just to yourself, but to all the people around you and the whole world. Let that be the blessing that we all should receive on Shivaratri. Again praying to Lord Shiva to bless everyone, because He is Sulabha Prasanna. He quickly grants boons. So one boon that we can ask for is that you must give us that prajnana, the experience of the highest consciousness, so that we transcend our body consciousness and become one with that Shiva. With that, we will bring this program to a close, and lot of blessings to all the devotees who have sat all through the night, chanted songs, bhajans, mantras across the world, all around the world, and many have prayed that the world should attain peace, there shouldn't be wars, that people should not have difficulties. Let me tell you, if we all pray sincerely, it can be achieved. Even prayer is very powerful. If you sincerely pray for the welfare of the world, samasta loka sukhino bhavantu, it will have its effect. So believe in that idea. Pray to Shiva that let auspicious things happen. No one suffer in the world. Let no one have any difficulty and suffering, especially in the present times. So pray sincerely for everybody's welfare. May Lord Shiva bless all of you to attain the highest and transcend the lower ideas of body and mind. May you be established in that consciousness once for all, forever. With these blessings, I conclude.